Alright, so I just saw Space Jam: A New Legacy, and I was shocked. I was shocked at how good it actually is. And I think that's to do with the fact that this film does not take itself seriously at all, which it's the Looney Tunes. But basically, how would you do a sequel to Space Jam, or and this one just goes well up the looniness. Yeah, something you didn't really think about is the basketball game in the original Space Jam, is pretty conventional, really, in terms of basketball game. It doesn't really utilize the Looney Tunes, being the Looney Tunes that much when you look at it. Obviously, there are bits that do emphasize this, but with this one, they just go all out. They just go all out with this, and yeah, it is a really enjoyable film. And yeah, I will say the only thing about it is it is a good deal longer. I would say probably a little bit too long. The first half does need a bit of time to get going. I'd say it's probably about 15-20 minutes too long in the first half, which is a shame because the only thing I would say about this that I would have liked to have seen utilized that in the first half, it's it's kind of like a spiritual successor to Roger Rabbit in the first half because we see the Warner Brothers as IPs interacting with each other, which yeah is something I was hoping we'd get a little bit more out of, but for the majority of the time they are literally just background characters in the audience of the basketball game, which is a shame. It is a shame that that is the case, but it was still nice, to see them all there. Overall, you know, without giving anything away too much, and there is, subtle nods to the audience like, yeah, we're doing this again. This one is basically, Space Jam but on drugs. This is just going to the complete extreme level, and I think it is pretty funny because of that. This one is actually, I would say, a lot funnier to me at least than the original. Although then again, I'm a lot more familiar with the original since I've seen it that many more times, so maybe that's to do with it. But regardless, yeah, I really do like this one, and yeah, also I'm actually something I will point out. I'm glad that about half of the film is actually 2D animations. 2D animation. There we go. I can't speak today, can I? Which, yeah, I know, and I had a feeling that would be the case. So basically, until the basketball game itself, all the Looney Tunes are in 2D, which is for about 45 ish minutes in total of the film, which I was glad to see, and I do definitely prefer them in 2D. I think a couple of them look a little bit odd in 2D. I think Lola looks the weirdest when it comes to the 3D, that a couple of shots, one of which is in the trailer, she just looks a bit odd. I don't know. I think they definitely suit the 2D look a lot better. In terms of everything else, the plot, the core plot itself. I mean, it's just this evil AI called Al-G wants to be recognized and basically is evil, and yeah, that's basically it. I mean, to be honest, this film is basically you have to turn your brain off for this one. You have to basically accept that this is, the Looney Tunes. And I'd say this one feels a lot more like a Looney Tunes film than, say, it just being, a sports film. Where Space Jam was kind of a half and half, this one is definitely, more towards the Looney Tunes in this sense, which for me, that was an advantage for me because I'm personally me, I'm not that interested in sports films at all or sports in general. So having the Looney Tunes in it and this one, turning the looniness basically up to the max in this one, I did really enjoy. The only thing I will say is the opponents, the Goon Squad, are not as memorable as the aliens we had from the first one, who do actually cameo. In this one, they are in the audience, but yeah, even they weren't that memorable, so it's a shame. I do quite like Algie as the villain. He does go a lot, over the top, but it kind of does suit this style. I can't really say much else without spoiling things. Suffice to say, if you enjoyed the original Space Jam, you're gonna enjoy this one, and if you're a fan of the Looney Tunes, yeah, this is very much uh, the latest in this, and I think it does have that feel about it of it basically just doing whatever just because, hey, this is just fun. Essentially, this film is basically just like forget everything else. Just like this is just gonna be just like a fun film, and that's exactly what it is. And so much to the point where I've pre-ordered the 4K Steelbook already. So yeah, there we go. But anyway, that's basically it for my quick thoughts on watching without spoiling anything. And yeah, just go watch it. Just go watch it. It is actually probably the best film I have seen this year so far. I know that probably isn't a high benchmark because obviously a lot of films at the minute have obviously still been delayed, and we'll see if this is the case by the end of the year. But yeah, this one's definitely up there, and I did really enjoy this one. So yeah.